There's different ways that you can use apps in Teams depending on what they do. We're going to take a look at adding apps to channels and chats as tabs. Some apps you can use in messages, so we'll look at how to do that. Some apps have bots, so we'll explore that also. Some apps are connector apps that allow you to connect information to Teams. Some apps have the ability to be visible and accessible in your navigation bar, and you can search for apps as well. Let's take a look at adding apps in channels and chats. Here I am in my Mark 8 project team, and I'm on my Go-To-Market Plan channel. And up across the top we've got tabs. So if we'd like to add an app as a tab, we can hit the plus sign and we're going to see different apps. Now, not all apps are available to everybody, so it depends both on your installation as well as your IT department, what they've got available for you. So you're going to see recent apps in here, so you can use the same app in different channels throughout Teams. For example, you might use the tasks, which is also referred to as planner, in multiple channels in multiple teams. You'll also notice apps like Excel, Word, PowerPoint that you can have set up as a tab as well. If you're searching for a particular app, you can go ahead and type that in. You'll notice down here as you scroll, you're going to see different apps that are available. Let's add OneNote. Because OneNote is tightly integrated with Teams, as well as it being a Microsoft product, it's going to be easily added as well as utilized within Teams. So we can create a new notebook when it comes to OneNote, or we can utilize a default team notebook that's already created for us. Once you've added an app, you'll notice that it will show up across the top as a tab. Now, depending on how many different tabs you have, you may need to click the drop down. Notice the drop down next to the particular app will allow you to rename it and or remove it. If there are more tabs available, you'll see the number here, 6 more tabs. And this will allow you to jump to different tabs within this particular channel. So instead of it being Mark 8 Project Team, you can't really read all of that. Let's rename it and call it OneNote Team Notebook. Now, because apps can have custom names, you'll notice that sometimes you're going to have a tab in here like Patty F Logistics, and you might not recognize what that is, because remember, tabs can be files as well as apps. This is, in fact, an app that's been renamed to Patty F Logistics. This is a very common app to be used within Teams. It's referred to as Planner. They've renamed it also to Tasks by Planner and To Do, but in essence, it is a to-do list, a way to categorize and keep track of action items. Now notice that as I've added the OneNote app to my channel, that here in Posts, I've got a notification letting people know that that's been added. Now remember, another way that we can use apps in a channel is in our messages or posts. So let's start a new conversation. Now remember, across the bottom when we're working with different conversations, we've got different things that we have access to. Some are formatting and so on. But let's go ahead and click the messaging extensions here. When we click the More Options, or the 3 dots, we're going to have access to some of the apps that it makes sense to use in this area, the posts or the messages. So some apps, again, depending on what they do, are going to make sense in here. For example, Forms. Forms is a Microsoft app that allows you to survey people, collect information from people. Some of them also allow you to just share information like the weather. So all of these are apps If we're not seeing what we want, we can go to More Apps. And this is going to allow us to see our full listing of apps that we can search. Now, Praise is an app that's automatically installed for most of us, and that's one that, again, makes sense to be in the posts or the messages. It allows us to send praise to people, to acknowledge things that they've done. That typically is going to happen in your posts, probably in a channel, but it could also be individually. So back here in our Posts tab within our channel, so I'm still in the Go To Market Plan channel, but now I'm in the Posts tab up across the top. We can add different apps in here. So let's add the weather app. Now if an app has not been installed yet, you can choose Add, and you can enter in a zip code. And that's going to allow you to add information like the weather. Once you've got the information in there, you can send that information. That's now sent as part of a chat or a message. Everyone that has access to that channel has the ability to not only see that, but also to go to more details. Notice that once you've used an app in this area, you're going to see it listed down here across the bottom so that you can use it again. Other examples of this are Stream. You'll also see the Praise app in here, and there's stickers. If we want to utilize an app that's already been installed, we can simply click it from here. I'm going to send Isaiah praise for being optimistic. And I can preview that and send it. The advantage to sending a praise in this Post tab here is it lets everybody else on the team also see what someone has done. Now, an app might be available in a particular channel here, but perhaps if we go to another team and another channel, let's go to our Contoso team, to the general channel, and we'll start a new conversation here. And again, we're going to notice that when we've added that weather app and the Praise app, those are also available here. So once you add an app to one of your post channels, you'll have access to it in other places as well. Again, some apps will require you to log in.